In a very surprising turn of events, we have probably what is the most ridiculous excuse for a dip in the Bitcoin market and cryptocurrencies as a whole. Also, EU is making fast steps for bringing any kind of regulatory clarity to the crypto markets. There's a lot more to talk about in today's episode. If you guys enjoy these updates, I appreciate it if you hit the like button and hit subscribe. We put out videos every single day, and today we're talking about the new regulations from the Euro. So real quick, CZ Binance is just stoked that finally there's some government that he has to obey because he runs a centralized exchange that is kind of finally putting out some rules, a rule book that he can follow. And if he can check all the boxes, then he won't be mysteriously and suddenly and surprisingly investigated by all these different three-letter entities, much like what is happening to him currently in the US. Also, Coinbase has been optimistic. And I'm sure other exchanges as well, Gemini. Basically, anyone who is trying to run a centralized cryptocurrency business in the US, they've had an uphill battle, and it's getting more steep as it seems. So that's why these regulations coming out of Europe, although they're not official, they still have to be, voted on officially by all 27 states of the European Union. But once that is put into place, if you are a financial services provider with cryptocurrencies and you're trying to operate in Europe, if you can get this license in any of the European countries, you can have access to users in all of the European countries. So kind of helpful there. This is probably going to be another evidence of people moving out of the US, those who are wanting to build and have crypto-based companies. They're going to go to greener pastures where they know what the rules are, and if they obey those rules, at least for the time being, as long as those rules exist, they should be having a much easier time of it. Speaking of the EU, there was a new stablecoin launch backed by the euro from a French financial services provider called the Eurocoin Vertible, or EURCV is the acronym, the EuroCV. This one was launched on the Ethereum blockchain, so not their own blockchain, but the code for this was open source, surprisingly. So we have some feedback from some Ethereum developers, which is hilarious. And it's just proving that bureaucrats are going to bureaucrat. They love red tape, and how they're designing this new stablecoin, is it a CBDC? I don't know, is just all the more evidence of this. If they were threatened by the speed and functionality of a cryptocurrency, they're not implementing that same utility to this token that they have now launched. There's been a couple Ethereum developers going off on Twitter kind of laughing at the whole scenario. Basically, they need to be conducting, I think, 3 on-chain transactions just for a simple transfer to occur. They're going to need to whitelist all users, whitelist all user transfers, and approve all of their ERC20 token activities. So yeah, they're just wasting a lot of time and energy and gas fees on Ethereum for this, because of course everything that is happening with that stablecoin, it being as heavily regulated as it obviously is, they're going to want to track and trace and have as much control over those transactions as possible. So if you're going to be wanting to use the stablecoin, you're going to have to get approval again, and then get approval again just to use it. And each transaction is going to have to be manually approved on chain by a central authority. Gotta love that government. Lastly, we got to talk about, basically how I kicked off this video about the most ridiculous reason that I've ever heard of an excuse for why the crypto markets were dipping. Sometimes markets just need to correct, and that's what we're seeing right now. Anyone who is trying to say that they know exactly why this happened or they're expecting this to happen, they're probably just lucky more than anything. But here's the thing. I guess Vitalik Buterin, the co-founder of Ethereum, liked a song lyric on Twitter that was representing a breakup song in Chinese. He liked that tweet, and everyone assumed that he has gone through a heartbreak. He has broken up with his girlfriend, or they've broken up for whatever reason. And what's even more ridiculous is that Justin Sun wants to fix him up again. He wants to be the matchmaker for Vitalik, get him right with the world. And apparently that's why the cryptocurrency markets crashed, is because of the love life of a co-founder of someone who made a cryptocurrency. That makes zero sense, but it's just a hilarious little man, people try to make sense of anything in the most ridiculous of ways. That's going to wrap it up for today's episode. Check out tomorrow's video. We have some updates on the Tornado Cash dev. Also, OpenX, the exchange from Kyle Davies and Su Zhu, the guys behind 3 Arrows Capital and that whole debacle. We got an update for you guys on that as well. So if you don't mind, hit like and subscribe. See you tomorrow. Bye, guys.